everybody, welcome to the Crafty Maven Getaway. Today is Free Flow Wednesday. I'm Desiree Scrapbook Nook, and let's go ahead and get started on what I'm going to do today. So I had this one, my first idea was using the Maggie Home Bloom collection, and I fussy cut the banner, that 12 by 12 pattern paper, and it had streams of banner going along it, and I cut that all down and I thought, you know what, I'm going to fringe it and then I'm going to hand stitch the string. However, when I put it on the white cardstock, I just did not like the look of it. So I scratched that and moved on to my second idea. And I knew I wanted to have some type of pattern paper only in the middle of the 12 by 12 paper. And so what I did was I grabbed Lori Whitlock's collection Here and Now by Echo Park. And I thought, you know what if I cut strips of paper and hand stitch them in layers? So I'm cutting them up and I'm going to put them down and I'm not going to like it. Now you're going to see me, oh, sometimes I hate voiceovers. You're going to see me show you what I was thinking originally with all the little banners, and it just wasn't flowing. Then I'm going to grab this one and I'm going to show you what I was thinking with all those pieces of paper, and I just didn't like it. So I thought, what can I do next? Then I grabbed my watercolors, and as you can see, those things look brand new. I think I've only used them like 3 times. And I'm going to create, since my daughter is eating a popsicle, colors of popsicle. So it's not really going to be a rainbow, it's just going to be, you know, random colors that I can think of. So I'm going to use pinks, orange, and then it's going to go into yellow. Right now I'm just doing many strokes until I get the actual color intensity of the color that I want. And I also want to create an ombre, so I'm making sure it starts getting lighter before it goes to the next color. So here I am going to go work on the orange, and then here I am with the yellow. Now I'm going to go ahead and put that yellow down, but I'm not going to have it go all the way to the top. And I do cut and trim down the white cardstock because I am going to back it up on some pattern paper. I like to do that a lot just to get through my stacks and stacks of paper that I have accumulated all these years. And then I realized I don't have anything at the bottom of the paper, so I pick another color and I go for a mint green. And the mint green I bring all the way down to the bottom, and I'm like, oh wait a minute, I didn't do that to the yellow, so I'm going to go back and start working on that yellow one more time. And there I bring it all the way to the edge. Now once I do that, I'm then going to put some weight on it overnight so it would flatten it, and so that way it kind of takes out the crinkles, and it did a really good job. I used my Cropper Hopper that has, it's a sticker album, and I'm not kidding you, that thing weighs like 5 pounds. Then I went onto the Cameo Silhouette website and found a popsicle. I ended up using some basil cardstock that matched my Chatterbox Powder Room collection, and those colors remind me of sherbet, and I thought, yep, that looks perfect. I'm going to go ahead and layer those 2 scraps of paper that I used to make the popsicle and just frame out my photos. And there you see the popsicle, and I used a little I hand stitched the popsicle, and I used some Stella Wink clear on it. Next I just cut out I drew my own heart, so it's nowhere perfect, and I poked holes using my paper piercer. Now if you don't have a paper piercer, you definitely can use a tack, a thumbtack, a needle, either one of those work. So here I have the paper I'm going to use, and of course I'm going to gut it out like I normally do to save it, even though I have tons of it. And I want to center the photo to where it's not covering up any of that hand stitch hearts. You work really hard on something and you want to showcase it, and so I definitely wanted to put it in between there. So I'm trying to figure out too at this time where I want the title, where I want my journaling. So like I said earlier, I was using some Chatterbox cardstock in the powder room. Or no, I'm sorry, basil cardstock that matched the Chatterbox collection of powder room. And I made an envelope a long time ago, and those colors look perfect against the watercoloring that I made. Now it does have purple in it, but I tend to not get hung up on that because I'm not going to bring any more purple in that. So even though it's in the pattern paper, doesn't mean I necessarily have to bring every single color from a pattern paper onto my layout. So I'm going to use that to create another layer behind my photo. And I also thought while I was doing this, well, what if I hide my journaling? Because now I have this pocket behind my pictures. I've never done that before, but it was just an idea because there was no way that I could salvage any more of that paper. And so I just left it as an envelope. But I scratched that idea because I definitely, like I said, I've never did any hidden journaling. I kind of want my journaling there to read, because I will be the type that will forget that I had hidden journaling in the photo. Okay, so next I'm trying to think of what did I do next. Okay. So if you notice in the photo, she's sitting at a dining room table, and behind her is the counter, and I have a plastic bag, and that plastic bag was driving me crazy. So I thought, well, what if I put something there to cover it? For some reason, I go to this sticker quite a few times because I definitely wanted to use it. However, it ends up not making it onto the layout. So there's my title, at least part of it. And I used my Silhouette Cameo to cut out the title. And I cannot remember the name of the font. I want to say Anymore or Evermore or something like that. I'm going to create the same watercolors, but to make sure that I don't paint the same color it's going to go on top of. So I put it above the orange and the yellow. So what I do is I create the bottom half pink and the top half orange. Now you're probably wondering, Desiree, your daughter's eating a popsicle, because this was the very first time she ever ate a popsicle, and she was really hesitant. I kept telling her, no, it's good, it's good. And you're probably wondering, why do I have the word taco in it? It's actually a really sweet story. So my daughter, when she was born, she had a little bit of a speech delay. She didn't talk, until 18 months, almost 2 years old. I mean, she never spoke. So she did have a lot of trouble, and she did have to seek speech at school to kind of help her out. And she kept calling it, I was like, isn't the popsicle good? And she's like, taco. I'm like, no, popsicle, honey. And she's like, taco. And her brother's like, not taco, popsicle. And so she's like, yum, taco. And it was just the cutest thing. And that is where I come up with the title, Yum Taco. So that's a little story. I have it on video, and still to this day when we watch it, we just giggle because it's just too darn cute. Okay, so now I want to add some embellishments, and I am going to use the Here and Now sticker sheet because it was just sitting out, and I thought, you know what, I have that pink, that looks perfect, and I'm going to put it up covering up the bag. Now I'm going to leave it there for a little bit, and I'm going to go, and I'm thinking to myself, I like the look of it. However, I'm going to remove it later, and the reason why is because I have it, sorry about that guys, my daughter came in, she needed some help with something. Okay, so I was talking about the title, and I'm going to use some tacky glue by Scotch Quick Dry, or is it Scotch? By Scotch, and that adhesive to put it down. I thought about using foam, but I decided against it for whatever reason. I don't know, sometimes I don't really have a reason of why I do certain things. But I'm going to glue it down, and I'm going to fussy with it for a few minutes because you guys all know I am obsessed with adhesive. Like, I can never have enough. I'm always worried that it's going to fall off the page or something after a few months. So after I get every little nook and cranny on that title adhered, then I'm going to fussy around with the stickers. Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to, I think, move on. What do I do? I'm doing something right now. I think I'm looking at more stickers because that bag is bothering me. And I'm going to try a few things. I'm going to try one, again, from the Here and Now collection sticker sheet. Then I'm going to try some Maggie Home thickers, some chipboard pieces. That doesn't work. And I feel like then at this point, it's just because it's not balanced. I can't have something in the middle and then something on the right, but nothing on the left. And I felt like if I put something on the left, it becomes too much. So I'm going to scratch that, and end up starting with the title. Sometimes, like, if I'm unsure about something, I'll put it away and then work on something that I definitely know that I want to do, and that is the rest of the title. I'm going to use Studio Calico, I think it's called 7 paper, a really old rubber type of gold stickers, letter stickers. And I'm going to spell the word out yum, so it reads Yum Taco. Now, off camera, here I'm still fussing with that, trying to cover up that bag, but this is where I kind of have an aha moment. I'm going to realize, wait a minute, this matches the orange. So I put it off to the side, remembering that, and move on to the title where I add the word yum. And off camera, I'm going to, because that pink sticker kind of gives me a hard time, and so I turn off my camera and I'm going to remove the pink sticker and bring it into the pink area of watercolor. And then I'm going to take that orange one that you saw, that was Amy Tangerine, and put it in the orange section. Now I go through some more of my stash, and I found some other stickers. Again, sorry, it's off camera. I kind of forget sometimes to hit the record button, especially when I'm in that groove. And I'm going to find 2 birds. One is yellow and one is green. And the yellow one is going to, be at the top, right there on top of the O. And then the green one is going to be at the bottom. One thing I did realize, though, afterwards, I thought I was all done with this layout, and I'm like, wait a minute, I never put down the popsicle that I made. So I had to find it because it was like buried under my stash of papers, and then I'm going to adhere that down with some foam adhesive. Alright, so that's it. That pretty much wraps up the layout. Stay tuned to the end because I do show a lot of close-ups. I just want to thank you again for joining us here on Crafty Maven Getaway for Free Flow Wednesday, and thank you so much, guys. You have a wonderful night, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!